Hello! Happy Thoughtful Thursday, everybody. Today, for our Thoughtful Thursday, we are going to think about the ways that music is involved in our lives. So there's some pretty obvious ways, like singing along to the radio, maybe in the car or in your living room. But there's some other ways, like if you hear a bird chirping, that might be considered music to some people, right? Or you could make it into music. So think about some different ways that music is involved in your life. If you can't think of that many ways, think of some ways that you can add more music into your life. Okay, because music makes life fun. Music allows us to be one with each other and is one of the only languages that goes around the whole world and is understood by the whole world. Okay, so it's pretty important. That is your Thoughtful Thursday. Another thing we are going to do for Thoughtful Thursday is to bring some music into this book. But before we do that, we need to learn some sign language letters. Okay, so first, we've got A. So it's not like you make a fist like this. Okay, you bring your 4 fingers down and your thumb up to the side like this. Okay, B we've already done for blue. It makes a lowercase b. Okay, remember your fingers should not be apart. That makes 4. This is B. Okay, alrighty, next we have C. You make a C with your hand, okay, but it's going to be facing forward instead of to the side like this. Okay, I have no clue what this is in sign language, but this is C. Okay, D is kind of the same way. It's going to be facing forward. You make it look kind of like a lowercase d, but you're going to face it forward, okay? Now we have E. You kind of crunch your hand up really, really, really tight, okay? Your top 4 fingers are all crunched up, and then your thumb comes on into the middle. So that's E. F looks like this. If you know some other parts of sign language, this also means number 9, but in sign language, in order to know what a certain sign means, because a lot of words have similar signs to each other, okay? You just have to know the context or what you're working on. So we know that this isn't a number 9 because we're working on the alphabet. And number 9 isn't in the alphabet, right? Yeah, okay? Letter F, okay? Make sure it's not facing this way, facing forward. Then we have G that we did for green. Kind of like your little Pac-Man, it's going to eat my earrings, okay? But it's not going to because it's going to stay wide open, okay? Totally awake. Here's our letter G. H is kind of sideways like letter G, but you have to make sure that your fingers are together. Okay, once again, we don't want little alligators eating things. Your fingers are together. Okay, and facing forward. Now we have I, which is just a pinky finger. That one's pretty easy. J is kind of like you're dipping your pinky finger in some jam. Okay, you draw a letter J in the air. J. There you go. K. Once again, we're facing forward a bit more than to the side, but if you look to the side, this kind of looks like a letter K, a little bit, okay? But you are going to bring these 2 fingers, okay, your pointer finger and your middle finger, kind of like you're going to walk, okay? And then you bring your thumb in between, just peeking a little bit between those fingers. Your other 2 fingers are down, so that's K. L looks like an L. Okay, that one makes a whole lot of sense. M. Alrighty, so this one can get a little bit tricky. So if you'll notice, I have 3 fingers out, kind of like the 3 lines in a letter M. But I also have my little thumb pointing through, peeking through. Okay, if your thumb does not reach all the way, that's okay. Okay, it'll still be the letter M, no matter what, if your thumb's a little short. Okay? Just make sure that you have those 3 lines up because the next letter is N, okay, which you still want your thumb to point through, and there's only 2 lines in a letter N, so you have to make the difference between an M and an N. That's kind of tricky to switch between 2. Alrighty, then we have O. Once again, it's facing forward instead of to the side, but we're making an O with our hands. Okay, P. You take a K, but you flip it down, upside down. Okay, up and over. So make sure that your P is pointing towards the ground. Okay, Q is kind of like G, but it's actually downward. Kind of like K and P. Okay, G and Q. There we go. R. you just twist your top two fingers, your pointer finger and your middle finger. You don't want to twist them like all the way around. That would hurt so bad. Please don't do that, okay? But you just kind of twist those two fingers and put them across from each other. S. Okay, this one is kind of like A, except where is my thumb this time? It's across my fingers, right? So that's why it was really important at the beginning. With A, your thumb needs to be to the side. S, your thumb comes in front and across of your fingers. Okay, T, you bring this top finger over your thumb. Okay, T, there you go. Also, the other three fingers are just kind of left, staying kind of curled into your hand a little bit. Okay, U is like this. Once again, we don't want to bring our alligator mouths open. Your alligator needs to stay shut on U. Okay, that way it makes kind of an uppercase U with your hand. V, this is why your hands had to be, or your fingers had to be shut on U, because this is V. Wow, look at that. There's our V with our fingers. Okay, W, there we go. Makes a W just like W for Wyoming, okay? Easy peasy. X, you bring your pointer finger kind of down, almost like it's, I don't know, crunching something, like you're taking a picture, okay? X. Y looks like this. Alrighty, so you'll see some people in Hawaii go like aloha or hang ten. This is the same exact position of your hand, I would say, I guess, as they use in Hawaii, but you're just going to use it still. Don't move it, because if you move it, that means something else in sign language, okay? And Z, you use that Y, use your pinky to draw a Z in the air, kind of like J, okay? Alrighty, here we go. Here's our musical book. I'm going to help you out with this sign language too. Alrighty. Big A, little a, what begins with A? Aunt Annie's alligator, A. Big B, little B, what begins with B? Barber, baby, bubbles, and a bumblebee. What comes next? C, big C, little C, what begins with C? Camel on the ceiling, C, C, C. Big D, little D, what begins with D? Donuts and a duck dog, D, D, D. Big E, little E, what begins with ear? Ear, egg, with E. Ear, egg, elephant, E, E, E. That one was a tongue twister, holy cow. Big F, little F, what begins with F? 4 fluffy feathers on a feff. Big G, little G, what begins with G? Goat and goo goggles, G, G, G. What's next? H, big H, little H, what begins with H? Hungry horse, hen and hat, H, H, H. Big I, little I, what begins with I? Itchy, itchy, Ichabod, I. Big J, little J, what begins with J? Jerry Jordan's jelly jar, J, J, J. Big K, little K, what begins with K? Kangaroo and kite, K, K, K. Big L, little L, what begins with L? Lion with a lollipop, L, L, L. Big M, little m, what begins with M? Mice in the moonlight, M, M, M. Alrighty, next is the other one. It's kind of like M, but it's not quite the same. Here we go. Big N, little n, what begins with those? 9 new neckties, nightshirt, nose. Big O, little O, what begins with O? Ostrich oil, orange owl, O, O, O. Big P, little P, what begins with P? Painting some pajamas pink, P, P, P. Big Q, little Q, what begins with Q? The quick Queen of Quincy and her quacking quackaroo. Big R, little R, what begins with R? Rosie's red rhinoceros, R, R, R. Big S, little S, what begins with S? Sammy sipping soda pop, S, S, S. Big T, little T, what begins with T? 10 tired turtles on a tuttle tree. Big U, little U, what begins with U? Uncle Up's umbrella and his underwear too. Alrighty, we're getting towards the end. Big V, little V, what begins with V? Verna Vera Vin and her violet violin. Big W, little W, what begins with W? Willie's in the wash tub, washing Waldo Woo. Big X, little X, what begins with X? X-ray and xylophone, X, X, X. Big Y, little Y, what begins with Y? A yawning yellow yak with Yolanda on his back. Alrighty, here's our last one. Big Z, little Z, what begins with Z? A zzzz, as you can plainly see. Nice job, everybody. We will finish out the week tomorrow. Have a great Thursday.